Alright, let's quiet down a bit. So we are pleased to introduce our guest artist, Rosa Elena Rivera. She is an artist who has mastered everything from singing to painting and everything in between. So let's give her a very warm welcome.
Well, I have done, I have done lots of different art, craft, fabricating things since I was very young, as young as the youngest one here. So I did a lot of painting, a lot of sculpting, a lot of jewelry, a lot of knitting, a lot of embroidery, a lot of things that you are doing in your in camp. So one of the things is that I have learned to learn, and that every little bit that I have learned has been useful for me to learn the next thing. So I wanted to show you some of the things that I've done. Thank you to Mr. Trust that he digitized this really quickly for me because it was in an old format curriculum. You'll see a lot of things of different styles, different things. This is one of my digital paintings. This is, I started fooling around with it because digital painting was a thing. So I started with that. And then you can do some things that are not a little bit more fluid. This also is digital painting, but this is not. This is traditional oil painting. The one that you see with the purple flowers, I don't know if you know, I know that they are upside down, but those are artichokes if you've ever seen them flower. And that actually, I won the prize with it in Mexico. And that unicorn is part of a mural that I made in a different school, and ink of some more oil painting and airbrushing that I had to do during college. You have to copy a picture and it had to look exactly like a picture. It's okay, it's not that great, but. And then watercolor and some more painting with different, I know this one's, the dancer is very, very small for you guys to see it, but it's ink, watercolor, and pencil. And I did fashion design too, because I studied as a textile designer the first time. And then we had to do lots and lots of drawing with just pencil. That is pastels, the one with the seashells, and a little bit more digital, something that I did. And there's a lot of other things. Sometimes it's I don't know if you can see the photo of the old guy. It's a copy of a very famous painting that when I was starting to learn how to do portraiture, which is basically, instead of taking a picture of you, you sit down and you paint the person. You start to make portraits of people. That's how you start. You start copying someone, which is there's a copy of a very famous painter, so it's really not mine, it's a copy. And more oil paintings and some fun, colorful pastels. Now this is textile design. This is the stuff that you make so it would go into fabrics. If you notice, it's completely different. So every little skill that I've learned, it has led me to learn the next one. So more textile design. What about having some little birds for to wear? Would you wear that? Maybe something like that, like flowers. Maybe, maybe not. And if some of you have little siblings, what about some dinosaurs or zebras? Yeah? Hey, I even have some cats and teddy bears. Look at that. I have not even remembered I had that. Now, To make the textile designs, I had already learned to paint figuratively, and those are oil pastels that are actually hanging in my parents' house. This was his illustration. It's about Aztec mythology, because some of you might know that I'm from Mexico. This is a mural in a school. They are upside down, I know. So more upside down and one right side up. Again, little bits of pictures of a mural. It was the whole hallway with decorated with different books. And then someone else's bedroom. More hallway. And that's one that I made for Day of the Dead, which is also a Mexican holiday. Do you have any questions? Yes. No question? Yes.
When's the Day of Day?
When is the Day of the Day? The Day of the Day is November 2nd. Always, no matter which day it falls on. Questions? Yes. What inspired me to paint? That's a good one. I've always liked painting. My mother painted. My father's an architect, so he always drew. So basically, I saw them do it, and I wanted to do it myself. I like doing it. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than you think it will take, but it is a skill. It is not about talent, it's skill. You work at it, and you work at it, and you work at it, and then it gets better and better and better. Yes. How did I paint it? Which one? That one? Well, this is called still life. This type of painting is called still life. So you gather all the elements in the picture. My mother had that big old cross and the sugar skulls I had, and I grabbed a vase and the votives and all that, and I put it together, and then I made a painting out of it. That's how you do it. Yes.
Was like the cheetah one with the cheetah?
Which cheetah? That one?
Yeah.
What about that one?
So was there like what that happened? You were like,
No, this one's that it's a jaguar actually, but it is different books that have that artwork. So I took some of the artwork of those books, and if you see the one at the bottom on the left, that's part of the cover of Harry Potter. And if you see that one, the unicorn one the book is called The Last Unicorn. And I can't remember, let me see, that's Curious George, right? So there is just artwork. I think this was called Eloise. So I don't remember all of them, but I know that I took the artwork of a lot of books. I can't remember this one, the one in oranges. I can't remember the book, but it's a well-known book. And this one, you might know it as the Peter Rabbit. So that's because that school in particular asked me that they wanted murals that in their classrooms that had artwork from those books. Yes.
what's your favorite picture?
What's my favorite picture? I think it's not a favorite picture, but I like things of each one. I like some of them, I like the materials that I'm painting with. Some others, I like the technique. Some others were made for a purpose. Let me see. This one's. We had a project, you know, the zebras and the dinosaurs and the cats and the teddy bears. We had a project in school was designing some fabric for little children. So that was my interpretation of something different. Yes, Lizzie. How did I make? How did I make a rose? Have you ever seen a rose? How many petals does it have? Tons, right? So you start with one, make one, draw one first, and then draw the next one, and then draw the next one. And then look at it and start painting. And sometimes you make a mess, and that's okay. Okay? And then you try it again. See, let me see. There's one right here. Are those roses? What about this one? So are those roses? This one's the one, the pink? Yeah, they are. And what about that one? Is that a rose? Are there different type of roses in different techniques? Are they all kind of look like a rose? Yeah, they don't have to be exactly the same. Yes, over there. Yes, you, pink. What's my favorite color? Purple. Yes.
So, do you make any more?
This is just a little bit of my portfolio. I have a ton more. So if you want to see something that I'm very excited about making, but this is just see, not touch, outside, I put all my jewelry for you to see it. This is jewelry that I made. You can see it, do not touch. You can ask questions about it. Do not touch. That's something different. Yes?
How did you get those paintings on the
Mr. Trust digitized it for me because I forgot. Yes? To make flowers,
What is size?
the flowers and the jungles. So the jungle was, as I told you, it was part of the art of a picture book for children. So the roses, my mother has a huge garden. I love flowers. Yes.
What's your favorite picture that you can picture?
What? That's a great question. You know what? I absolutely, when I was a little girl, I could only think about horses. That's it. Horses, 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 horses. So unicorns were a big thing for me. So The Last Unicorn, it is one of my favorite books, which is also an animated movie. And I made lots of pictures of that one. But that one doesn't have its own illustration, so I could make up my own. Yes, anyone? Oh, over here. The rabbits. It's acrylics on, it's basically the same kind of paint that you use to paint your walls, or in different colors. So I think it's vanilla, which is kind of like red. I don't know. Over there. First you and then my other friend.
How long did it take for the longest baking? Wait. How long did it take? Wait. What's the longest time that it's taken to?
So the mural that I showed you that has, it was a whole hallway. Imagine from here, Foster Hall, to kind of like the office. That's how big that was, more or less, maybe a little bit longer. It took me a whole summer to do it, but there were a lot of different pictures of different books. Plus it was from the bottom to the top, so it was 2 months. Oil paintings tend to take a longer time in between layers of paint. So it can take you 2 months, but you don't work on them all day. Does that make sense? Over there.
For the page 7,
Mm-hmm.
why does one of the skulls say Coco?
What is what?
Why does one of the skulls say Coco?
Because that's my brother's nickname, Coco. In Spanish, the nickname for Jorge is Coco. So, over here,
What's your favorite style of art?
what is my favorite style of art? So, it's very difficult for me to say that because I think every kind has its value. I think that it is different ways of people express it. So I tend to be more of a figurative painter, but once I'm sculpting jewelry, it is completely non-figurative, which means abstract and just kind of go with the flow. So I think that it depends on the moment, the time, and your age. So sometimes you might want to do something different. And at least for me, if I'm painting, if I'm doing oils, I know that in my head is it has to be figurative. There has to be like what I see, I paint. With watercolors, I can experiment a little bit more, but I also tend to be more of a landscaper. When I'm going with, when I'm doing digital painting, it can be whatever I feel like. Yes,
How many art classes have you attended in your life?
too many. So I started going to art class outside from school since probably I was between 5 and 6 years old. By 12 years old, I have won a national contest. By college time, I have earned a national award in Mexico. So it's just I painted all my life. Painting was something I did every day. So yes,
How do you make a painting look so realistic?
which what?
How do you make a painting look so realistic?
How you make a painting to do so realistic. So the first time that you're gonna try to do something realistic, it's not gonna come out realistic at all. Then you try again, and you draw and you draw and you draw. My art teacher, when I was young, he would have this huge keychain with lots of keys. And he put it there and go, draw. And we would use charcoal. And then he's gonna come by and then move it again. And then move it again. So by the end of class, which was about an hour and a half, you had gotten at least 10 drawings of the same keys in different positions. So draw, 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 try, try, try. Some of them are really good, some are like, hey. So, yes. Need to think for a minute. What about if I come back to you? Max,
How long did it take how long did it take you to paint your biggest painting?
so one that is not here, that is a really huge painting that's in my mother's living room. Which is, that's wide, that's tall. Took me a whole summer. Yes. What? How many? Oh my goodness, honey, if I said a whole summer, too many minutes. Yes.
How did you draw on like the computer?
I couldn't hear you.
How did you draw?
How do you draw on a computer? That's a great question. So there's a tablet that attaches to your computer, and if you make a paper drawing, you can put it on the tablet and follow and trace, or you can scan it, then put it in your computer and then paint. There's programs to draw. So you basically have a pencil and it's like a tablet. It's a little bit different than grabbing a paintbrush and painting directly because you're looking here and drawing here. So it takes a little time to get used to it, but it's, once you know how to draw, it's not difficult. Last one, unless anyone else wants more, yes? What is the smallest painting of this? Don't know. Probably this one, the small lemons, because it was just about yay big. Yes. How did I do the little one? Just look and paint. Put the basket with the lemons and draw it. Yes.
What was the medium that took you the longest to figure out?
So, the one that takes the longest to figure out, if you don't do the steps behind it, is oil painting. Because you have to do lots of layers. So, I was trained in what is called the classical way. So you draw in charcoal and draw in charcoal. 6 months. The next year you do pastels, and only then you learn to paint in oils. So it takes a long time for you to. The whole point is that the drawing has to be there before you grab the oils. Otherwise, if you are doing a figurative painting, it's not going to happen. But if you are doing a different type of technique with the oil paintings, it doesn't have to take you that long. Yes? Still question?
You could paint with your eyes closed.
No.
You think you could paint a picture with the word logic on the word logic canvas?
With the what?
On the word logic canvas?
No. I would pass this painting on the 16th chapel. No, thank you. So, last question. Yes?
I've never painted a mural before.
No, I don't really want to. That is something I don't really want to. My eyes are not the best. They're getting worse as I age, so I'd rather not get on any scaffolding, let's put it that way. So, anyone else? Yes?
What's the next painting?
Okay, so I lately have not painted. I do lots of crafts. I do lots of embroidery. I am doing lots of sculpting, but I haven't done any painting. I sketch a lot, but the day that I feel like painting, I usually grab my watercolors and I paint, because oils take a very long time in between layers that they have to dry, and then you have to paint again, and then it has to dry, and it might be 1 or 2 days between dries. Watercolors is fast. Yes? So, I'm not gonna say it's more difficult. It is a lot of patience, and I don't have a lot of patience for it. You see the whale there? That is done with airbrush. And the problem with it is that you have to mask. Basically, you have to put either masking tape or a thing that's called frisket that you put on top of it, and you paint, let it dry, take off. Mask again, paint a little bit, take off. So it is very tedious. I don't have the patience for it. So that's why I don't like airbrushing, even though it's useful to know. Yes?
What is the latest project you're doing?
The latest project, I am doing some jewelry, and I got a scholarship. So I'm going there in 2 weeks, I think. So my latest project is making a sketchbook of all the projects that I want to realize on that time. So I'm put a sketch of what I need to do, and I'm mapping what I need to learn to be able to do that. So that is my next project. If you want to see the jewelry, it's outside and you can see it. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosalina. All right, creative starts, you may be on your way. I thought of a song in the car. Creative starts, you're in our hearts. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Creative starts. Yeah, you would not have liked it. You're in our hearts. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. All right, for our festival offerings, we're gonna do this lightning fast. We've got needle and wet felting workshop with Rosalina in the EDP room. There is a limit of 10 kids only, and it's for 10 and up. We've got gymnastics classes, that's rhythmic, acro, and power tumbling. Go to the gym, please. Free drawn collage with me in the art room. We've got D&D with Jovi in the Crazy Cats room. Friendship bracelets with Sienna outside of Foster Hall. Magic the Gathering with Cal in the Dungeons and Dragons room. I wish. And the Daily Double room. Harmony singing with Avi in Foster Hall, and FIFA friendship system with Will Laramie in the gym. And there's also chess club for 4 kids. With Koval and Simon. You're going to meet outside the library, right? And those couches? Yes, where the big pink dinosaur is. I did not discuss. Counselor and counselors.
Harmony singing is off for today.
Oh, no harmony singing. Boo. Where's harmony singing? And Angelique.
Also, dance classes come to the gym.
Dance classes go to the gym as well. And the other counselor and counselors. Okay, be on your way.